Well, another cloudy day across the area. As we got some light rain around the area tonight, and it's we're gonna get started with more rain. You can see the clouds across our area. We did have some drizzle this morning, and then it kind of ended. It just gave us a mostly cloudy day. I'll show you the longer satellite loop, but you see clouds pretty much in place as we have this stalled frontal boundary here that has the site is being very slow today. We'll go look at the CONUS view here. All right. Yeah, this site is malfunctioning here. We're trying to get to the CONUS view. It's just, all right. Come on. Just to show you what we got going on. We got this front that's approaching that's going to stall out over us. We'll look at the weather. I don't know why this site's being so slow, but we'll look at the weather map here. Everything's just being slow. All right, so this is the weather map here. You can see your front that's stalled out. I'll put this to 60 so you can see it during the day. So here's your front that's approaching. That's going to stall out. We got low pressures over the southeast. This is all going to ride up the front and bring us yet another rainy day tomorrow. Looking at the radar, you can see we've had a couple of light showers across the area. You can see all the rain that's all going to be moving on up from the south here. Can move this into a loop if you want, so you just get a look and see what that looks like. But again, you can see all that rain is just moving on up and giving us another rainy day that we're going to have tomorrow. I was hoping this front would move a little further to the east, but of course, that would be too much to ask for. So here's the daytime satellite image of it. You can see all that. Yeah, look at all that moisture there. Wow, a lot of it's taken off of Florida there. So you can see again the moisture feed is right from the Gulf this time. So pretty much right from the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to be coming on up and bringing us more rain. Now it shouldn't be the same amount of rain we had on Saturday, but it's still going to be a decent amount of rain, I think. I was hoping that it would move a little more offshore, but of course, that's always again too much to ask for. So let's go to our weather map there. And you can see not a whole lot of advisories across the country, some flooded watches across the south, and small craft advisories for the offshore waters. Kind of a gloomy day today, 46 degrees. No drizzle being reported right now, but the air is pretty damp, pretty damp air. It was a little warmer today despite the lack of sunshine. So if we look at the highs, temperatures got into the mid-50s on Long Island. Actually, a little warmer here than New Jersey. It was in the upper 40s, I think, because they had more in the way of rain and cloud cover. We had a few little breaks of sun, but more or less a cloudy day. Lows, probably not a big diurnal range here. Yeah, upper 30s to low 40s. Let's look at. Nope, not that one. That was the wrong one. Let's see the local observed weather. So here we go. So we're going to look at our statistics for today. High of 55 at Islip, a low of 39. Puts us 4 degrees above normal for the day. So back above normal today. High of 52 and a low of 42 at Central Park. Near normal, only 1 degree above normal at Central Park. So let's take a look at the models and show you what we're going to have to deal with. So you can see here, it doesn't look like much, but as we move this along, that low pressure develops, amplifying the rain. We're going to get into the heaviest of the rain will be over the mid-Atlantic, so we're not going to see torrential rain, but I still think it's going to be a pretty rainy day, and it's going to linger through most of the day, and then it ends on the evening. The low kind of moves away, it kind of intensifies, and then we get into that northwest flow on Friday, but we'll be drying out on Friday. And the weekend right now looks pretty good. There's a little disturbance that may bring a slight shower chance to southern New Jersey on Saturday, but Sunday should be a fairly decent day as well, but there'll be similar clouds around those days. And that pretty much covers the rest of the month. So let's look at this upcoming rainstorm that we got to deal with now. So let's see if we have enough of the models in. Party's a little later is because the models just, take a while to come in, because we're in daylight savings times now. So rain starts tonight to the HRRR, and you can see it's going to continue all day tomorrow. All right, there are a few breaks here and there. It doesn't look like it's going to be that heavy But it's going to be steady rain all day, and then maybe a little bit heavier in the evening there. A little bit of heavier batch comes in on the HRRR, and then it finally moves out of here. This front is crawling. Even at midnight, it's still going to be raining in Suffolk County, drying out in New Jersey, and then finally by Friday, you can still see even Friday morning, you might still have some little rain on the extreme, like Montauk, extreme east end there. That will clear out slowly on Friday as this low moves away. Um, but let's look at the total accumulated precipitation, see what the. So it's still showing, depending on where you are, the further west you are, the less it's going to be. But the more like East End could see still 2 inches of rain. A lot of Long Island will probably get into that 1.5 inch range, especially Suffolk County, more like around an inch in Nassau. So it's still going to be a decent amount of rain. And like I said, the ground's already saturated, so it's not going to take much to cause some flooding with all this rain that we're getting. Dew points and wind flow here on the HRRR to show you those moisture levels will be increasing tomorrow. You notice, however, though, that the wind is westerly, northwesterly throughout this whole event, which is kind of unusual to see a northwest wind, but this is the actual front over here. The real humid air is well off to the south, but that moisture is going to be flung up along the stall frontal boundary. It's going to be an anafrontal type of rain, and then you can see that northwesterly wind taking over. The drier air comes in early Friday morning, and then we're in that northwesterly flow on Friday, and that'll provide us with the northwesterly flow for Friday. So let's look at, and that's probably going to be our sunniest day, at least the next 3 or 4 days, probably. So let's go and take a look at some other models like the NAM. See, we don't have enough of that NAM, and it always takes longer, but maybe it'll be enough just to get us through this event. I'm hoping we have 32 hours. So you'll see that rain. This is the high resolution NAM here. And you'll see that rain's going to be with us, and it looks pretty steady all day long. It's going to be lingering into your early evening too. And like I said, it's slowly. Here we are. This is the last frame of it. Still has some rain over eastern Long Island, even a little bit of snow mixing in over New England. I don't think we'll see any of that here. But this is as far out as we go on the NAM 3. We can look at total accumulated precip on that, and you can see, yeah, it's got 2 inches or more on over Long Island. So the potential for this to overperform is always there because, again, the models, we can't update them fast enough to account for the rapidly warming planet that we're living on. So that's part of it. So I'm going to go up to the NAM 12 here, which have a little more in. So let's see. So yeah, it's showing a lot of Long Island in the 2 inch mark. So we may be a little more toward 2 inches of rain again. Let's look at and that 2 inch part goes over coastal New Jersey as well on this. So it all depends on where this front kind of just winds up getting stuck. We'll look at the NAM here because we have a little more of this. So you can see again, we're going to have this rain lingering all throughout March. I'm going to just call tomorrow another soaker at this point because I think we're going to get soaked again. I really do. I think we're going to be dealing with another soaker, unfortunately. So let's look at the FGen here. Just something I like to look at here. So let's look at that FGen here and see. It's being slow again. Yeah, you can see most of the decent stuff's off to the south and the east, but don't underestimate it. Don't underestimate it. That's what I'm going to say right now. Don't underestimate what this can do. Because there's a lot of moisture involved. A lot of moisture. And this doesn't give us the 700 to 300, I don't think. Only the GFS does that. But if we do look at the GFS on the 700 to 300 here, you see the dark greens that we have over us. So it tends to thin out a little toward the evening. But it still, to me, shows that we're going to be stuck in this moisture. We don't dry out until Friday. So, yeah, it's going to be a rainy day tomorrow. I'm pretty sure that's what it's shaping up to be here. They already postponed the Mets home opener because of it. I'll just show you that moisture feed again on the GFS. So you can see it's all coming from the tropics. There's your low right there. And your moisture feed, here's your trough. And that's just going right up that trough right there. So, to me, I think that I'm leaning more toward that closer to 2 inch amount that we're going to see of the rain. I really do. I think it's going to be another soaker. I really do. It would be nice if it wouldn't be, but I mean, all the models seem to agree right now on having a soaker. The NAM, the HRRR. Um, I really don't really use any of the other models. We can look at the European AI as well. Um, and it shows again, it has that heavier rain off to the south, but I'm not necessarily. This is a slow mover, so it's going to all add up. Um, Euro's a little low, I think. All right, this is the Euro AI. Let's look at the operational. Pretty similar. Um, if you're north and west, I mean, if you want to get out of the rain, you really got to go well to the north and the west. All right, maybe central PA. All right, but other than that, looking at these latest runs here, it looks like a soaker. I'll visualize this again. You can see it just looks like it's just going to be raining. You see some yellows in there, so you'll have some maybe occasionally heavy rain. It won't be the kind of torrential rain we got on Saturday, but it's just going to be a long duration event, which means your rain starts after midnight tonight, and it's going to be raining continuously until possibly midnight tomorrow night. So this is all going to add up into a lot of rain, and that's why I think we're going to see. We're not going to see that much wind, but we are going to see a lot of rain with it. Um, we'll see this. Won't see a lot of wind, but we will see a lot of rain, and it's just going to linger throughout your entire Thursday. So pretty much a soaker again. So it's just another soaker, and I think we'll see. I think we'll see between 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. I think more like 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain is likely for Long Island, coastal New Jersey, Connecticut. Northern New Jersey, the further west you go, the less it's going to be. But don't be surprised again if we see some more flooding again. Again, because the ground is saturated right now. No watches and warnings have been issued, but the ground is pretty saturated, and I think we're going to see a decent amount of rain out of this. I really do. Now, getting back to after the storm on Friday, we'll slowly clear it out and dry it out. We'll look at the the NAM. We don't have enough of that in yet. As far as skies go, I can look at the GFS and show you the obviously clouds tomorrow. But you see Friday, you see those clouds slowly try to clear on out. Slowly. And maybe more over New Jersey. And then this is a lower resolution model showing sun and maybe some more clouds in the afternoon, and then more clouds for your Easter Sunday. But Friday, otherwise known as Good Friday, it should be okay. It should be it'll be a little breezy, but it will be drying out. We'll go look at the RGM model here, the 18Z run of the RGM model, to show you, obviously, socked in the clouds tomorrow. And then for Friday, it's showing most everybody clearing out. We may have a little bit of stratocumulus development in the afternoon. This may be overly optimistic. I've seen some other models that are a little more pessimistic about it, but I think we'll have a better idea tomorrow night. I'm more focused on tomorrow's rain event that we're going to see. Looking at Ventu Sky here, as far as winds go tomorrow, we're not going to see too much in the way of wind. So that's the good news. It'll be a little breezy. I mean, you see the northwest wind, which is odd. But again, we have this stalled cold front, and the moisture is just going to be thrown up over it. And that's why we're getting all this. So again, you're going to have this stalled cold front. If we look at dew points here, which I'll show you here in a moment. Humidity, dew point. Kind of shows you what we got. So we got this stalled cold front here, and you see all this warm, moist air is just going to be thrown up over the cooler air at the surface. So this is an anafront type of deal, where you have the front that's you see the front coming in. Here's the actual front right here. And then you have this sort of like almost double warm front almost, but you have some surface cool air that's still left behind. That's going to this warm air is going to be forced over that, leading to a large stratiform rain event. I don't think, like I said, we're going to have convection or any of the downpours, but it's just going to be a stratiform rain that's going to be with us all day long, and it's going to be dreary and gray, and So anyway, I think that is going to wrap up this Long Island weather update. So get ready for another rainy day tomorrow. Be prepared to stay indoors. It won't be torrential, but it's going to be enough to be miserable to be outside. So, thank you for watching and have a good night.